Can't see 60 of this year.
He could, that was great. It rained.
1968, 1968.
I'm probably get better, but you never see the, Rick Ross and Fourth Street or anything either, that's 1950, I'm sorry.
We'll be ready for calling the council open meeting order for October 13, 2020, order at 7 p.m. All members from the council are in attendance except for Councilman Evers, who's absent excused. Present from the administration is Mayor and Safety Director Dennis Morley, Police Chief Larry Wright, Fire Chief Ed Leaton, our Law Director Randy Clammer, and our City Engineer Tom Boyer. Does anyone recording the meeting, courtesy to the public, you identify yourself so that fellow attendees know that being recorded. Seeing no one, Randy, like to record this meeting. Under legislation proposed, we have a resolution to purchase equipment for the fire department with CARES Act funding. Mr. Mayor, or Fire Chief Leaton.
Thank you, Mr. President. So in the packet, our cardiac monitors are supported for one more year. For 2021, they're not supported anymore. The monitors themselves, I want to say, are 18 years old. So when we started looking into the project, we'll see here in the two big upgrades that we'll have on ours is the temperature monitoring. So right now, when we monitor temps, we actually do a temporal type of a thermometer, put it to their head. It's not a continuous monitor. So these monitors actually give that. And then the second is the blood pressure. So we still have to do manual blood pressure, which for patient care is fine, even somebody who suspects COVID. But these machines will allow us to do what you want to see in an emergency room. You put the blood pressure cuff, we'll hit it, and then it'll monitor it for you. So there's a little less contact. Now, but I don't want this to portray that these are attempts for us not to have hands-on patients, because that's not an option. But what the equipment that's available to us will certainly allow us to have some of those available to us, as we move on. So this is. I just want to make sure that was clear. These new monitors, it's multifaceted because the ones we have are not going to be supported, so it's an opportunity. It offers us some things for COVID patients, but at the end of the day, we'll have to still take care of people that we normally do, regardless of what they present. So I think that we presented everything, the justification that Zoll sends out in a medical care land. That information it satisfies what she's looking for as far as being able to do whatever they've audited, from the state or anybody for that, the CARES Act money. This is the kind of justification they look for. So I think she was happy with that.
Yeah, the big thing on there is the temperature monitoring, so they can automatically know, especially some of them know that they have COVID. That's one of the big things with the narrative that we had to put in.
No question.
One question for you. So you said the current monitors you have are about 18 years old?
Yeah, I have to get you an exact, and I'll tell you about that. I would guess that they're probably about 18 years old.
What's the life expectancy of these?
Probably about 15 years. Again, the technology does change a little bit. The machine itself, is the software and what's included in that package is really where we're running up against. I'll get you the specific dates when we bought that from Bob. But it's the software that we continually have to change and upgrade that no longer can be supported by this company. And we'll certainly, anybody that has technology, they don't want you to buy it once and not ever have to buy stuff again. So it's a pretty good opportunity. We had multiple vendors come in. We were just doing our ACOS training, so the monitors that we had on order from two big companies. The guys actually used that during our ACOS training, so we were actually using current monitors and things like this. So everybody in the department has an impact on the machines. So I'll get you a specific date on that before we adjourn.
Appreciate it, Chief. Thank you. Any other questions for the Chief? Okay. Legislation number 10-13-02, resolution to purchase surveillance cameras from the police department with CARES funding. Chief, just so you know, this was select ordinance. I also have a couple people have questions.
Okay.
questions on how it all came about. It's a newer company that's migrating into the area. There's, a different company on the west side that heard proposals from both, several Lake County departments are going to be using this block company, and, they integrated with the CARES money to limit the amount of, we had Circle K was running on Friday or Saturday night. You know, you can go to certain cameras, get a better idea of the vehicles coming and going, you know, not a time frame. You can plug in vehicles that you're looking for and actually hit those as well. I believe the representatives would be okay with coming in as well to speak to you guys, to give you maybe a 10, 15-minute presentation, another 15 to 20 minutes for questions. So we're all comfortable with the purchase. I mean, I'm not a small government guy, but we're going door to door to the houses when we have vehicles stolen. We're going door to door to businesses when we have these robberies. And relying on a piece from your camera, piece from another camera. A lot of them are not resolution that these provide. And we also have the vehicle recognition. We go over there, take any input as far as location of the different ones, where those of you are high travel areas, you know, and our borders. And we've also coordinated with the other cities within the county that are getting them. So, I mean, to have one eastbound, westbound over the little city limit wouldn't make sense for us in Little Way. You know, we would kind of figure that out between the cities.
I think it's a good idea to have them, maybe come in before a council meeting or when they're available. That's good with everybody else on council. Any some questions on?
We'll call them tomorrow, get some availabilities, and
I appreciate that, Chief.
And do have an attachment to all the information.
Yes. Okay. Legislation number 10-13-03, a resolution to purchase police pursuit vehicles with CARES money. Chief?
the two of our oldest vehicles, our first SUV and our second SUV ever purchased, I believe they're 0305 or 0507. They are full cloth interior, carpet. You know, it doesn't even have a prisoner divider. And the segueing into the CARES money was obviously to separate the prisoners from the officers, to have the interior easier to wipe down and to sterilize in between uses.
Any questions for the chief? Seeing none, resolution number 10-13-04, a resolution to purchase software for the service department of CARES money.
We talked about it in the finance department, this will be the same as, Willie and treatment plans. Now that we've gone to more of the, computers with COVID, that, each one of the service guys in sewer and the other, park committees will have all sewer lines right directly there. They don't have to come back here, go on your computer. Again, it'll just, interweave with both Willie and the treatment plant, that they can all, if there's a problem with the treatment plant, they'll be doing it. And again, it's more to get rid of the paper and everything else that we deal with. And can't send something over to Willie, they'll just be on the computer. So, and then we talked about the rest of 20 and 21, the deal $19,812 a year for the service contract.
Any questions for now? And seeing none, let's move on to legislation number 10-13-05, a resolution to purchase police vehicle outfitting with CARES money. Chief?
Obviously, the price of the individual cars, which are not cheap, are only sometimes overshadowed by the equipment that has to go in them to, there's no vehicles, even next year, whatever vehicles we do, the charger frames have changed enough where a lot of equipment doesn't transfer. Plus, sometimes if we keep any equipment for future use, we were able to save some money in that regard. The vehicle being purchased at Durango, which we do not have any of to begin with, so it is a brand new setup. This is for the lights, the silent package, the, including the radios and the radars. So, again, it's an expensive endeavor, but it's, we're comfortable and confident with all public safety we've been using as the outfitter.
Any questions for the chief? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to, resolution number 10-13-06, a resolution certifying unpaid invoices owed to the city of Eastwood.
Yeah, the old bills that we talked about, the abatement, they have to be in the audit, all like we find October 18th. This would just certify those bills that we've already done off the abatement time to the audit.
Any questions for the mayor? Legislation number 10-13-07, a resolution to purchase emergency generator for CARES funding.
These are both, as I said, for City Hall and for Senior Center, Town, and anything to add on those. That's just, again, especially with, City Hall now, in case COVID goes spikes or whatever, if we have to work, more people have to work from home, we don't need that server to account, and stay down, so that'll protect, the computers that we got.
Any questions for the mayor? Move on to legislation number 10-13-08, a resolution to purchase a police vehicle. Chief?
As most of you, I'm sure know, we had our K-9 car that was damaged, accident coming back from the mechanic. I knew Sylvia Hill gave us a pretty good deal when they sold it to us a couple years ago. I believe we won't have that double, but we paid that for it, so it was a total. We were able to get some of the equipment off of it, and, in agreement with the company who was picking it up, we're also able to take some, suspension issues off of the vehicle to, put on the other charges we have when those things start running down. The K-9 officer requested an SUV. Right now, the only thing available out there to get is the Durango. If we waited longer, we would have different options for sure, but it's longer than that K-9 would have to be working. This will put us in a unique position with 4 different vehicles: the Durango, the Charger, the Explorer, and the Tahoe. You know, and the negative, we're running 4 different vehicles. And positive, you're running 4 different vehicles and see which one's operate better. I don't think we're going to see anything like the first 20 years of career. It's going to be Ford or Chevy. I think you're going to have that all being bounced from the different manufacturers. And right now, it's everything seems to be changing on a yearly basis. So just trying to make the best purchase we can for the unit and taking some of that guy's input into consideration as well.
Any questions for the chief? Seeing none, thank you, chief. Move on to legislation number 10-13-09, a resolution to enter into a lease agreement for copy machines. Mr. Mayor?
This will be going to, Comtech, or Comdoc, saves approximately $500 a month, which is 63-month, lease. And also, the new machines they were looking at will increase the speed and performance where needed, especially in the police department.
Any questions for that? Move on to legislation number 10-13-10, an ordinance for reappropriation. Again, Mr. Mayor.
This is the it's for the WPC, not to exceed $40,000 for study of the capacity on each island, equalization cases. Do you have anything to add to that?
Legislation 10-13-11, that's a resolution for WPC.
Oh, that's the one, I'm sorry.
Reappropriation.
Oh, the reappropriation, I'm sorry. That was, the debt from the stadium that we did not receive, so we had to, put it, well, one is that, and the other one is additional funds from the CARE Act, which was $632,000 we put into the special CARE fund, into section 206. And then the, debt of $381,200, not to pay the debt, and so that's gonna switch over when we did the reduce the stadium debt, so it's a wash. Sorry, excuse me, but yeah, I explained that we could use
Are there questions for the mayor regarding that legislation? Thank you. We have no legislation pending. Under miscellaneous, we have a liquor license request for Swedish Haven Spirits Incorporated doing business as Discount Tobacco and Beverage 34722 Vine Creek, Ohio 44095.
I did not hear anything back from Ken or the chief, that there was an issue from that, so.
Anyone have any questions? All right, seeing none, this council whole committee meeting is adjourned at 7:16 p.m. Call the regular council meeting of October 15, 2024, 7:16. Mr. Keller, will you please lead the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sure, please call roll.
Mr. Gully? Here. Mr. Simon? Here. Mr. Kuzinsky? Here. Mr. Overstreet? Here. Mr. Zimmerman? Here. And President Myers?
Here. Is there a motion to approve the agenda for the regular council meeting October 13, 2020, resolution number 10-13-02 has been removed?
So,
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Zimmerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Zimmerman, yes. Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. President Myers?
Yes, the motion carries, the agenda is approved. We don't have any minutes to approve, we have some minutes that are pending, should be ready to approve next meeting. Next regularly scheduled council whole committee meeting is scheduled for October 27, 2020 at 7 p.m. with the regular council meeting following the adjournment of the council of the whole committee meeting. We'll move on to committee reports. We have the finance committee meeting.
Thank you, Mr. President. We did have a finance meeting today at City Hall at 6 o'clock, and there were a variety of items that we discussed. We discussed the purchase, with the CARES Act money, we discussed purchasing equipment for the fire department, purchasing a police pursuit vehicle, purchasing software for the service department, purchasing a police vehicle outfitting, and purchasing emergency generators, all with the CARES Act funding. All that legislation was moved to council. There was legislation that was also from the CARES Act funding that was held in the committee, and that was purchasing surveillance cameras for the police department. In addition, we had moved to council legislation to enter into a lease agreement for copy machines. I believe that is it. And that was the finance meeting that was held today. What were the questions?
Any questions for Mr. Keller? Seeing none, we have an ordinance meeting.
We did. During that meeting, we discussed the possibility of creating an ordinance to abate trees that have the possibility of falling into the river, creating a navigation hazard. And we also discussed changing the ordinance to change the time of residency to appointing commissions. And with that, I move them to questions.
Any questions from Mr. Overstreet? Except that creation of commission to assist the board for that. All right. Seeing none, the only committee meeting we have. Move on to motions. Is there a motion to approve the liquor license?
I do.
no objections, the liquor license request for Gia Chevron Spirits Inc., doing business as Discount Tobacco and Beverage, 34722 Vine Street, East Lake, Ohio, 44115.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Durnley, please call the roll.
Mr. Zerrin, yes. Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
And President Myers.
Yes, the motion is carried. We'll move on to recognition of the public. Floor is open to recognition of the public. Our line of speakers, all comments will be addressed to the chair or non-involved personalities. We will give you 30 minutes total, 3 minutes apiece. Anyone who wishes to address now? Act. Mr. Durnley, please read legislation number 10-13-01.
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to purchase from Zoll Medical Corporation at state bid pricing cardiac monitors, AEDs, and accessories for the city of East Lake Fire Department in the amount of $117,130.55 from the CARES Act funding and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Durnley, please call the roll.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. Mr. Zerrin, yes. And President Myers.
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Durnley, please call the roll.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. Mr. Zerrin, yes. And President Myers.
Yes. The motion carries. The legislation is adopted. Mr. Durnley, please read legislation number 10-13-03.
The resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to purchase at state minimum pricing from John Jones Auto Group 2020 Dodge Durango AWD police pursuit vehicles for use by the city of East Lake Police Department in the total amount of $68,466 to be paid out of CARES Act funding and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Durnley, please call the roll.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Zerrin, yes. And President Myers.
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
I second.
Mr. Durnley, please call the roll.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Zerrin, yes. And President Myers.
Yes, the motion carries. The legislation is adopted. Mr. Durnley, please read legislation number 10-13-04.
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and finance director to purchase software from Dude Solutions to be used in the city of East Lake Service Department. Said purchase in accordance with specifications to be paid out of the CARES fund and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Mr. Durnley, please call the roll.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Zerrin, yes. And President Myers.
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second? Second. Mr. Durnley, please call the roll.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Zerrin, yes. And President Myers.
Yes. The motion carries. The legislation is adopted. Mr. Durnley, please read legislation number 10-13-05.
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to purchase from all public safety outfitters outfitting equipment for police vehicles in the amount of $38,462.88 to be paid out of the CARES Act fund and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Durnley, please call the roll.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Zerrin, yes. And President Myers.
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
I second.
Mr. Durnley, please call the roll.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Zerrin, yes. And President Myers.
Yes, the motion carries. The legislation is adopted. Mr. Durnley, please read legislation number 10-13-06.
A resolution certifying that there are property maintenance invoices past due by 90 days and owed to the city of East Lake, authorizing and directing
suspend the rule requiring separate readings and reading in full?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Swan? Yes. Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second? Second. Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Swan? Yes. Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Mr. Zerman, please read legislation number 10-13-07.
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and finance director to purchase emergency generators for use at East Lake City Hall and the community senior centers from AJ Golder Electric Inc., the most responsible and lowest bidder, in the total amount of $149,801, set to be paid out of the CARES Act fund and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second? Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Swan? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Move to adopt. Is there a second? Second. Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Swan? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Mr. Zerman, please read legislation number 10-13-08.
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to purchase at minimum bid pricing from John Jones Auto Group, 2020 Dodge Durango Police Pursuit Vehicle V8 AWD for use by the city of East Lake Police Department in the total amount of $34,223 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Swan? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
I second.
Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Swan? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Mr. Zerman, please read legislation number 10-13-09.
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to enter into a lease agreement between the city of East Lake and ComDoc for Xerox copy machines and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Swan? Yes. Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes, is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Swan? Yes. Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Mr. Zerman, please read legislation number 10-13-10.
An ordinance to reappropriate for the expense of the city of East Lake, state of Ohio, for the period beginning January 1st, 2020, and ending December 31st, 2020, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Swan? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes, is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Swan? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Zerman? Yes, and President Myers.
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Mr. Zerman, please read legislation number 10-13-11.
Resolution granting permission from the city of East Lake to the city of Willoughby to expend funds in the amount not to exceed $40,000 for the study of the required capacity at the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency required East Island Equalization Basin and the existing siphon equalization tank and river crossing and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So motion.
Is there a second? Second. Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Swan? Yes. Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes, is there a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt.
Is there a second? Second. Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Swan? Yes. Mr. Zerri, yes. And President Williams?
Yes, the motion is carried, legislation is adopted. We have no legislation pending, we have no unfinished business, and we have no new business. We'll move on to administrative reports. Our first report is from our Mayor and Safety Director, Dennis Moore.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank council for, passing all the things on the CARES Act funding. The directors and the chiefs been working hard, make sure we get the correct narratives, be spending this money correctly. So, big thank you to them also, that, get this done. A couple things, this Thursday, you're all invited, to the gazebo, if you notice the silhouette of the domestic violence. So at 6:30, there's going to be a ceremony, with our victims' advocates to talk about, domestic violence month. But the silhouettes out there, if you go out and read them, they'll show from, I think, from 2011 to 2014 of the, deaths in the area, that resulted from, domestic violence. So, you're all invited Thursday at 6:30. I did meet again, Randy, myself, Caroline, Judy, and Tom met with the Frontier Group about Captain Washington, the sale of Captain Washington. So I did, send you guys, schedule an informational meeting. They're gonna come in, to explain what they'd like to do both at Captain Washington. There is the, issues at Cap as far as being R60. We will have to look at, zoning, at Washington right now, that's one, which are one acre lot on daylight road on R60. From what we look at, it should be feasible. Again, they're gonna come out and explain, see what the plans are. Right now, they've talked to 3 different builders, they have different plans, told them to try to bring some, examples of what they're looking to build. Tuesday at 6, so I appreciate that meeting. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. the county positive siren will be going off. We will get the usual phone calls to dispatch and or city hall. It's a test, and nothing but a test. The flushing schedule out, sent out to you from the county department utilities, be from the 14th to the 22nd. You can go on the county department utilities, like this post, on our social media, the streets and when we're doing them. We've had a call over the last few days about a vicious dog in the Surfside Tower area. Spoke with the chief today, and the chief did a follow-up with the dog warden today. We have talked to the complaints that were called in, and the dog warden is going to go take a look at that. And if we need help from the police, we're not able to call the police, but at this time, there's been just a few incidents. What we told them, what the chief told me today, again, is, you know, we need to call these things in as they're going on, and not like a day or two later. Not really helpful, but again, or just talk about it on social media, because obviously we don't monitor social media all day, to see what's going on, instead of calling police directly. So, again, any issue, they just need to call dispatch directly, and then we will be on it. We still don't have a schedule on Stevens Boulevard on the east side. Dominion has us behind, and what I told Tom is, instead of us starting to tear the street up, you know, if we can't get a schedule here in the next couple of weeks on 99 or 95%, that we're not going to do east side Stevens. Because again, we don't want to tear up all the asphalt and then through the winter, there's rocks and everything everywhere. So that probably will start back up in the spring. Again, we have no control. We've been calling the Dominion Gas for a month, and they're just not moving. So rather have it right and then just trying to patchwork and get it done. And if we start when the asphalt plant closed, we're just going to have bad asphalt, and we'll be in where we're at right now for washboard. Do you have anything to add on there? A few other businesses we talked to. I know there's a business looking at going into the old updated 288. I believe it's another Japanese restaurant. They apply for their occupancy, so I'll get more information out of that. So we've been still working on, talked to the broker for the BP again yesterday. Things are just always in slow motion. there was some people interested in smoke, but again, at this point in time, with the COVID and the restaurant situation, it would be tough to get someone to open up a restaurant. We did have our weekly meeting with the health district this morning. The numbers have spiked a little, they've come down a little. Again, you know, the big thing everywhere is, especially on the social media, if you see one person without a mask, it's like, why is the mask? But again, at the end of the day, especially outside, you know, people have been doing the social distancing, so hopefully we'll get a vaccine sooner or later. I did offer up, if we get a station that they're going to put in Lake County, to use the parking lot, stadium, either our lot or the stadium for vaccines to go through, or testing site, so the county will get back to me on that. So, with that concludes my report, and open for questions.
A question. The builder for Castle, Washington, he's going to be at the planning commission next week.
The planning commission, they will go for the zoning for Washington, and the planning commission next Thursday.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, the developer.
Right.
The developer's gonna do it, and they'll
Right.
contract out to the builders. What we've talked about is, especially with TAP, they know the situation with us with the senior center. They would start Washington first, and if we need more time, I told them we'd be out of the senior center by the end of the year. Again, with the senior centers, at this time, you know, the health department saying we're not opening the lease until the first of the year, and until maybe the first quarter. So for us, we're moving and all that, it's, we'll be in good shape, and be able to set up for our COVID. Big hang up with the senior centers right now are the testing of the seniors. So, yeah, so they will be, we gave them the application yesterday with a plan to go to Washington for the change of zoning.
Anyone have any questions for that? I think now we'll move on to our fire chief.
Thank you, Mr. President. So just to clarify the date, I was talking about on the phone. So those Series M that we have were developed in 2002, so that's the 18-year mark. We actually bought them in 2009 on a federal grant. They were discontinued in 12 with support, and now they're unsupported in 2021. So we actually only had them for about 11 years. So the monitors we're buying now, I'm hopeful that we're catching that cycle a little bit better. So it's a 20-year cycle is really what it is. So even if this brand we're using came out for the hospital, it's a Series X. So there's Series X for hospitals, and now there's Series X for ambulances. So we should be well into that 20 years. So hopefully, I hope all of you are around still involved in this. I probably won't be the next time that I start that monitor. So I appreciate the support on that. The new squad did arrive. What did you say?
My compliment spot.
So the new squad is here. We have it outfitted. The only thing that we don't have in it now are mobile radios. So we're still running that out as the third eye ambulance until the radios can get addressed. We have a company that comes in and does that. They should be up probably tomorrow to give us an idea. So that hopefully will be in service before too long. Very, very happy with it. It turned out really, really nice. We went to color scheme with the United. So hopefully, when the world gets a little bit normal, we can all get together as a group. And I know Mr. Sherman has some thoughts about maybe doing some community things. And we'll certainly still like to entertain that, you know, in the vehicles. I think it would be something we're very, very proud of. Want to show it off. We do get people coming in and visiting every once in a while, but it's still one of those things where, you know, you gotta make sure they're comfortable, we're comfortable kind of thing. So I hope that when the world gets better, and we can all get together and maybe make some hot dogs and hamburgers and sit around and enjoy each other's company a little bit better. And the final thing, I know the mayor mentioned, the siren will get used tomorrow. I would like to remind people, the way that the siren systems are actually set up in this county is we're blessed that we have a new plan. The new plan allows us to be very aggressive because we're actually, you know, we're regulated by the federal government. And part of that EOC staff has been part of it for a long period of time. When the sirens go off, technically what you're supposed to do, you go into your home, turn on your television or your radio, because the siren sound, it's regulated by law that there's an EAS, emergency alert system will put out a message to tell you exactly what you need to do. Now, again, we're just testing. If it was an actual emergency, there would be the county will put out a message to say exactly what's happening. It was set up initially for just the nuclear plant, we went to an all hazard system. I know we've used it before for tornado warnings, we use it for hazardous materials releases, we use it for, hostile action events and things along those lines. So I was like to remind you, because like Mayor said, we'll get floods, we'll call the dispatch, and then they'll get called. And do, you know, it's certainly going off. And that's the last thing we want you to do, what we want you to do is to go in your home and if it was a true emergency. Now, again, it's the opposite of what happened. So tomorrow is 30 seconds, stop, 30 seconds, stop, and it's over a 3-minute period. And if it's an actual switch, it's a 3-minute, 30-second break, 3-minute, 30-second break. So for an actual emergency, it's not much longer.
So you gotta go to, for people that smart TV, you gotta go to your Spectrum, or you want to go up to your.
No, so there's going to be a gap with that for sure. It comes with new technology, and I know that they're very, very aware of that kind of thing, but in the olden days, if you had just a regular channel, that scroll would come up underneath it and say, we're always, I know we have like a training video, we used to run it on channel 12, it really did, we used to put it out during spring, when tornado season became more active in the area, so I've always just want to make sure to take advantage of sometimes it takes them all, just to, if you get phone calls from constituents tomorrow, just remind them that for a real emergency, there would be information there, inundating them on exactly what's happening and what they have to do. That is the weather. Other than that, your question, I think your support, thank you for your support on that.
Any questions for the chief? Seeing none, we'll move on to our new chief, Larry Wright.
I appreciate the votes to get the vehicles we need. Again, I wish I had more options that we can choose from, but we'll see how these go, and try to keep you guys in the loop. Speaking of vehicles, when there's every Tahoe that was completed yesterday, the other one should be done by the end of the week. They'll both be supervisor cars to be equipped with things like pepper ball gun, and along with some of the other equipment, including a shield that will be available, you know, in case we know there's always going to be one supervisor working for that, put that in that vehicle. The county, for the police department, the sheriff's office, applied for and received a grant for electrostatic sprayer for vehicles in smaller areas. Those have been delivered out there, got to pick ours up this week, and we'll have that available for us in the service department. And the other day, we had the trunk and treat event at the stadium. I thought it went well. Got a couple more people than we could ever imagine. I thought it was as big as it was as well as it could for an initial first year event. We already have some better ideas for next year to, you know, keep the flow going and everything accommodated. But people who did wait seem to be happy to wait. We had decent amount of entertainment there. The DJ who donated his time and effort, had the music, had the little photo booth option, and also had a TV up at the ground channel. So we kind of covered everything, and we appreciate all the assistance we had with that. And finally, a couple of weeks ago, we did our test for new hires. We have our results back. We have sent out, we got the first 15 names back. We're going through the process to have some people ready to do some interviews. Our promotionals will be on the 27th of this month, so 2 weeks from today we'll be testing for sergeant and lieutenant. We have a lieutenant who will be on the books in the beginning of next year, and just getting prepared for that. So, yeah, I appreciate the support and open the questions.
Mr. Lance?
Chief Wright, I just wanted to say that trunk or treat in the city, like that was phenomenal. When I left, the line was to Elko. It was unbelievable, and so great to see all the departments come together and the community support the police. I mean, that's really the community. It's just a small portion that's, I think otherwise, but, everyone I talked to loves the police and appreciate what you guys do. And I don't know what that one giant tank vehicle was in the corner, but that thing was gigantic. I don't know what it came from.
That's an MRAP, they actually got it from, Afghanistan, when they were bringing back some of the vehicles, when you hear about militarization of police department, that's one of the things they bring up. Obviously, you don't see it a lot, because it goes back to the traffic stops. Then, God forbid, a person or a police officer gets head down with rifle fire, bazooka. I mean, you could drive that thing anywhere. You could drive over people with compartments and lift them up and get them out of harm's way. So to have that vehicle with them and the county vehicle and paintball is two different options for worst case scenarios. And the only expense to the team was the of the vehicle and the transport of it. So, that's all. People can argue that it's a waste of money and it never gets used, but if we ever have that time and it's needed, we're going to wish that we had that option. Again, the whole event was spearheaded by Officer Brianna Fawcett. She brought something to me at the beginning of the year, and in typical police fashion, we're not like the firemen, we plan as little as possible. So, come around June, we started getting things set up and went to the other chiefs, and I was hoping to get 8 or 9, and I think other than 1 or 2 of the smaller agencies way on east, we had pretty much 100% participation, with some places like Louis having 4 cars there, and a couple others having several, so it was, looking forward to doing it next year, and hopefully we get all positive publicity, hopefully you can from now, and, like what you did for next one.
Well, great job, I'm looking forward to it this year.
Any other questions for the chief? Thank you, chief. Move on to our city engineer, Tom Boyer.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council, Mr. Mayor. As the mayor noted, Stevens East of 91 is probably not going to go this year. It's just not finished on time. West of 91, I believe they'll finish on time, although they are 3 weeks delayed, give or take, because of the division. Delay on that side of things, but that should finish up. The Rebecca work on our outfalls is getting underway now. We're getting ready to start, Galena, and we should have a pre-construction meeting for Willoway Beach here in the distant future, which will encompass the Rebecca there, plus some repairs to the tank down in Galena. With that, all questions.
Any questions, Mr. Boyer? Seeing none.
Thank you.
Last but not least, our law director, Randy Flynn.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council, Mr. Mayor, just clarify, when you see the informational meeting with the developer, they haven't decided on the building yet, so you're just gonna see some example renderings, but they made an effort to kind of do whatever they could, kind of give city council and any residents of your heads up on what could happen, so they're going above and beyond trying to get there early on in that discussion. The only other thing I have is, it's not too late, if you want to go to executive session.
Yeah,
So
but
that, we know Mr. Hawkins is retiring at the end of the year, so if you motion to adjourn to executive session, we can see the appointment of the law director / prosecutor. I'm also sorry.
any questions, Mr. Flynn? Seeing none, Mr. Burns, sorry, Ms. Hunter.
During the, kids' free lunch grab and go program we had, over the summer, Little Breeze tried to apply at, numerous different government agencies to, get assistance for the program, and they got approval from USDA for $120,000 approximately. So, there is going to be a distribution at East Lake North High School tomorrow and the 21st, from 4:30 to 6 o'clock. There's going to be about 2,200 families, that are going to benefit from this, local families in the district. They're going to receive a 30 to 40 pound box of dairy, meat, and produce. And, they're coming in on semi trucks tomorrow and the 21st. And, there's a lot of people that have volunteered, but if there's anybody from the city, identified the people in need in the district, and I've already texted them, so they expect to get out of the boxes. And, any help would be greatly appreciated. Four, six, or five. Yeah, this Wednesday and next Wednesday. So, thank you.
Yes, is there any motion?
Yeah, I, motion to move into executive session to discuss the city prosecutor position.
Call roll. Second. Thank you.
Mr. Zeri, yes. Mr. Gelli?
Yes.
Mr. Patil? Yes. Mr. Stein? Yes. Mr. Ostrey? Yes. Mr. Meyer, or President Myers?
Yes. And we're now adjourning to executive session. You're welcome to leave and come back when we're done, and watch the adjourn if you like.
Yeah, there's a 5-year